Hey guys, it's Miss Price. I'm here for chapter 5. Um, it's what is at the center of the universe, and we have 5 vocabulary words I wanted to go over before we read the chapter. The first one is contradict. It's a verb to disagree with and go against a statement or action. 2 is theory, which is a noun, an explanation for why something happens based on evidence. 3 is contemporary, which is a noun, a person living in the same time period and or who is the same age as another person. 4, condemn, which is a verb, to say in a strong or definite way that something is wrong or bad. And then 5, speculation. It's a noun, an educated guess about something not proven beyond debts. And some words that we have here that are important in this chapter. Some are hard to say, but I'm gonna try anyway. First one is Aristotle. Second is Claudius Ptolemy. Third one is uh, Ptolemaic. 4 is Johann. Tübingen. Next one is Tycho Brahe. Galileo Galilei. Pisa. And Hans Lippershey. Hans Lippershey. Okay. Um, so again, the title is What is at the Center of the Universe? And the big question here is what new scientific theories were proposed by Nicholas Copernicus, Johann Kepler, and Galileo Galilei, and how did the church respond? Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to read this first page to yourself, okay, and give you just a minute to do that. Go ahead. Okay, I'll read this page. From Earth-centered to Sun-centered, Ptolemy and Copernicus. The idea that the Earth was at the center of the universe seems to have had its start in ancient Greece. The Greek philosopher Aristotle wrote about it as early as the 4th century BCE, and that's before the Common Era. During the 2nd century CE, or Common Era, a Greek astronomer and mathematician named Claudius Ptolemy expanded on Aristotle's ideas. In fact, the geocentric model is sometimes called the Ptolemaic model. Ptolemy supported Aristotle's view that Earth stood still at the center of the universe, while the sun, moon, and planets all revolved around it. He thought these heavenly bodies were located in different spheres, something like gigantic crystal clear bubbles, with the bigger spheres around the smaller spheres and Earth at the very center. For many hundreds of years, people accepted Ptolemy's model of the universe. No one questions his views, no one, that is, until a Polish astronomer named Nicholas Copernicus came along. And there's his geocentric model. Okay. Copernicus's heliocentric model. Copernicus was born in 1473 CE in the Polish city of Thorn, now called Turin. In the early 1500s, about the time Martin Luther was forming his religious beliefs, Copernicus was studying the movements of the planets and stars. He made all his observations with the naked eye because the telescope hadn't been invented. When or what Copernicus observed happening in the heavens, however, didn't really match what Ptolemy's geometric model. He concluded that Ptolemy and the ancients were wrong. Earth does not sit still at the center of the universe. Instead, Earth and other planets revolve around the sun. Copernicus's findings supported a heliocentric rather than a geocentric view of the universe. Okay, guys, I'm going to have you read this next page. All right, go ahead. If you need to, just pause the videos so you can do that, okay? No problem. Okay, the next is Johann Kepler, if you'll read it. And that is the University of Tübingen. Okay, if you'll read Galileo and the Telescope. And the name down here is Hans Lippershey. And this down here, this book that Galileo published in 1610 was Sidereus Nuncius. Okay. Okay, if you'll read this page. Okay, almost there. And I'll read this last page. Soon, much more powerful members of the church began to speak against Galileo as well. Galileo wrote letters and gave speeches in order to defend himself, his findings, and Copernicus's views, but things only got worse. Kind of sounds like Martin Luther in the last chapter, doesn't it? Where he um, they wanted him to, or the Pope wanted him to recant. So and there's a vocabulary word because of his faith. And it's almost silence. In 1615 CE, the Inquisition, or the court of the Catholic Church, discussed Galileo and the ideas of Copernicus for over 2 months. The judges, called inquisitors, decided that Copernicus's ideas went against Church's teachings. They ordered Galileo to stop promoting the idea that the Earth moves rather than the sun. Galileo realized that he risked imprisonment or worse if he continued. Keeping quiet was much safer and also enabled him to continue working in private. Although, guys, listen, um, obviously Galileo thought that it was better to keep quiet, whereas Martin Luther, thought that it was better to not keep quiet. So Galileo decided to keep quiet and did so for several years. However, when a new pope, Urban VIII, came into power, Galileo hoped that this new man with new ideas would listen to him. In 1624 CE, Galileo asked the pope for permission to write a book that would discuss the ocean tides in relation to the contrasting ideas of Ptolemy and Copernicus. The Pope gave Galileo permission to write the book as long as he treated the ideas of Copernicus as speculation, not as truth. Okay, if you'll read the last paragraph, guys. Okay, so what I want us to do now, I want you just to look at, let me find it in my book here. Okay, so, and I'll put this, guys, I'm gonna put this on Google Classroom so you know exactly what you need to do. But I'm just gonna tell you as well. You have questions on pages 79, 80, and 81. Okay, and they are questions from chapter 5. Okay, and so um, what I'll end up doing is once these questions are finished, once they're complete, I will take a grade on them. So I'll carefully look at these and grade them for you, and put a final grade on the um, pages. Okay, so all I have to do on the Google Classroom is put the workbook, because it looks like the chapter 5, the reader, is in your workbook, which is great. So I won't make slides this time. But it's all here for you, and I think that'll be so much easier when answering the questions. So the questions are in front of the chapter here in your workbook, and I'll put all that on there for you. Okay, guys, and just wanted to mention that I'm really proud of you all. Just keep up the good work. Um, you guys are doing an amazing job. I know it's hard being not being in school with the rest of us, but you guys are doing great. So very proud of you. All right. Talk to you later.